Good morning, students. So, here we are today with our topic the book exercises or textual exercises of chapter 9 from our English reader book, Wordsworth Reader. And the name of the chapter is The Priceless Slippers. As we have already read the chapter in our previous class, so today we'll do book exercises. Let's see if we can do these exercises if we still remember the chapter. So, if you remember, the chapter was about a renowned Sufi saint, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, whose shrine is there, and he is buried there. So, his tomb is there. Many people of all faiths, visit that shrine because he was such a person who treated everybody equally and who lived a simple and an austere life, taking care of people, the downtrodden, the needy, and the hungry. And this is what he preached all his life. And one of his beliefs was to serve God. We must serve in order to please God, in order to serve God, we must serve the needy and the downtrodden. This is what his belief was, and that is what he was famous for. That is why people from all walks of life still visit his shrine, and he's a very revered Sufi saint. So, here we have the book exercises. Let's see what we have first. First is the comprehension exercise. Here we have to recall the chapter and try to find answers for these questions, whether there are fill in the blanks or simple question answers. So let's see what we have first. The first exercise is complete the following sentences. So first is Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia lived in Delhi. That is where his shrine is. Still, that shrine is. Second is the villager went to see the Sufi saint because he was fed up of his poverty. He wanted to become rich. He had tried everything to earn money, but he couldn't do that. He was always unsuccessful in that. So one day, some person told him about a saint living in Delhi who was very kind hearted, and he also told him that he was such a kind person that nobody comes empty handed from his house. That is why this villager thought that if he would go there, that Sufi saint would definitely give him some money for starting a new business. Of course, we are not going to write such a long answer. This was just to make you understand what we can write. Now the next one, the villager didn't go to any rich man because he knew that rich men were not willing to part with their money. Fourth is the villager thought that the people of his village would laugh at him because instead of giving him money for starting a new business, the Sufi saint had given him his old worn out slippers as gift. So he thought if he showed those slippers to the villagers, they would laugh at him. So that was for the fill in the blanks. Now next we have answer the following questions. What was the poor villager's aim in life? Since he was very poor, he was struggling with his life. He didn't have any comforts of his life, so his sole aim in life was to earn money and become rich. Why did he decide to travel to Delhi? He decided to travel to Delhi because in his own village he couldn't earn enough money. He tried very hard, but he was not successful in that. So one day a person told him about a Sufi saint in Delhi who he believed that who he believed that he would give him money to start a new business. So third is what did the Sufi tell him on hearing his demand for money? So when the Sufi asked him his purpose for visiting Delhi or visiting him, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. So the villager told him the truth why he had come here, that some person told him about the saint, and he also told him that he was very kind hearted and he would willingly give him some money for business. So what Nizamuddin told him in reply was that he didn't have any money. He can't give him any money because he didn't have any money. All he had was what he was wearing, and he could not give him money. He could give him, he if he stayed there, he could be well fed. He could be given food. He could be given clothes to wear, and he could stay there as long as he wanted. But he could not give him any money because he didn't have any money. How was he treated at the Sufi's house? He was treated very well. He was given good food, enough food. He was given clothes to wear, and he had a very good sleep, good and comfortable sleep in the Sufi's house. So in short, he had a very comfortable stay there, and he was treated very well. Why did the villager decide to leave the Sufi's house? He decided to leave because he could guess, he could understand that the Sufi, though a very kind hearted man, would not give him any money. Though he had waited patiently for the Sufi to give him some money, but he could understand, because the Sufi didn't say anything when he told him about the money. He just nodded his head. He didn't tell him anything. He just went away and went about with his daily routines. And even after many days, he didn't get any money. So instead of asking for money and all, staying there for more days, he decided to leave that place. What gift did the Sufi give the villager as he was leaving? As the villager was leaving, the Sufi didn't give him any money. Instead, he gave him his old, worn out slippers as gift. What did the Sufi say as he gave the villager a gift? The Sufi told him that since he didn't have any money, he didn't have anything else other than what he was wearing, his clothes, old clothes, and his old slippers. So he took out his slippers and gave it to the villager as gift, and told him that as he had a long, tiring, and dusty journey ahead, so those slippers would come handy. Those slippers would help him walk comfortably in the hot, under the hot sun. And next is, what did the villager see in the distance on his return journey? While he was walking en route to his home, so in the middle of his journey, he saw some sort of cloud blowing in the desert like place. And what he saw, when the dust settled down, what he saw a magnificent horse galloping towards him, and on that horse there was an equally handsome and magnificent rider. So that is what he saw in the distance on his journey back to home. Now, ninth, why did the horseman treat the gift with respect? Because he was a very staunch follower of the Sufi saint. He was a devout follower of the saint. He considered him as his lord. That is why he treated the gift that was just a pair of ordinary slippers. He treated that gift with uttermost respect. How much was the horseman willing to give in exchange for the Sufi's gift? He was willing to part with whatever he had. He had earned some 6 months of gold. He was willing to give that to the villager. He was riding a magnificent horse. He was even willing to give that horse to the villager, and all his finery, all his beautiful and wonderful robes, whatever he had with him that time, he was willing to part with that in exchange for the old worn out slippers of the Sufi saint. So that is what he wanted. Now, next is think and answer the following questions. Each thought that he had gained the greatest treasure. Why? Because the villager wanted to earn money, he wanted to have quick money. That is what he got in exchange for the slippers and the horseman, the magnificent horseman. He, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia was his lord. Treated him as his lord. So he was yearning to have those slippers, anything that belonged to the Sufi saint. He was longing to take that. So that is why both treated their exchanges as very invaluable things for them. Why did the villager think that his exchange with Amir Khusro was an unequal exchange? Because he did not understand the value of those slippers for Amir Khusro. For him, for the villager, the slippers were just old, worn out slippers and nothing else. Whereas for Amir Khusro, they were the most precious belongings he could ever have, because he was such a he treated so respectfully and so reverently Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, that anything that belonged to the Sufi saint was very precious and invaluable for Amir Khusro. So that was all in comprehension. Now we will move on to vocabulary part. Now in our vocabulary part, what do we have? We have homonyms. Homonyms. The spellings are HOMONYMS. So I'm sure you have heard about homophones. And of course, many of you would have heard and read about homonyms. So what are homonyms? Like homophones are same sounding words. Words having different spellings but same sound, like they are pronounced same and they have different meanings. Those are homophones. Words that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. So like here we have an example: ATE is 8 and EIGHT again is 8. They have the same sound but they have different meanings and different spellings. So they are homophones. Now, what are homonyms? Homonyms are homonyms are words that sound the same. See, this is the similar thing between homonyms and homophones. Words, a pair of words sounding same. They are sounding same. But in homophones, they have got different spellings, whereas in homonyms, the spellings are also same. They are same sounding, they are spelled as same, but they have different meanings. So those are homonyms. Words that sound the same and are spelled the same but have different meanings. Like for example, we have a bat here. One bat is this bird, another is the thing with the help of which we can play a game called cricket. So this is a bat and this bird is also called a bat. See, bat and bat, both are spelled as same, both are pronounced as same, but both have different meanings. They have different meanings. Like this bat only flies at night, this can be used as a sentence: you have to hit the ball with a bat. Another is, see this palm. One palm is the palm of our hand, this part of our hand, inner part of our hand, where we have these lines and all. And this tree is also called a palm. So this can be used in the sentence as, this is the palm of my hand and look at the beautiful palm tree. Another is light, like having very lightweight, light in weight. Another is this light, which a lamp can give us. The feather is light, please turn on the light. So this is homonym, where the words sound the same, they are spelled the same, but they have got different meanings. Whereas in homophones, words sound the same but are spelled differently and of course have got different meanings. We have done it before. Now after that we have homographs. We don't have this in the syllabus, but we can still do it. Homographs, they have same spellings but different meanings and different pronunciations, but spellings are the same. Like see, minute, that is part of a time period. 60 seconds make 1 minute. Another is minute, that means tiny. So what do we have here in homographs? The spellings are same. Spellings, only the spellings are same. Pronunciation is different and meaning is also different. Now our exercise here is based on homonyms. Homonyms are two or more words that are spelled and sound the same but have different meanings. For example, can means ability, like I can do it. I can do this work by myself. Can also means a container in which we can keep things, store things. There is enough water in the green can. Now some homonyms are given below. Make two sentences using each word specifying their different meanings. Now this bark, what does it mean? You just have to know the meanings of these words. After that you can easily make sentences. One bark is the sound of the dog. Okay. Another is the outer covering of the tree. So you have to know the meaning. We can, the bark of the dog barked loudly at night. And another we can, the outer covering of the tree is called the bark. Fair, one fair is the complexion, one who is white in complexion. So that is fair. Another is fair, like which what we call in Hindi as mela. That is one fair. Mela is one fair, and another is the complexion. That girl is very fair and pretty. Another is that girl is very fair and pretty. That means we are talking about the complexion of the girl. And I'm going to the fair with my parents. Now one date is fruit. I like to eat dates. खजूर जिसको हम बोलते हैं. Another is the date, like today is 21st. Today's date is 21st. So we can write I'm going out. Or the dates for our examination are from this to this, from 22nd October to 30th October. The dates of our examination are from 21st October to 30th October. One more date is to have an appointment with somebody, to go out with somebody. So but we'll do only two here. Left, one is the side, left side. My house is towards the left. And another is past tense of leave. The boys left soon after the game. Now one chair is आंसू जिसको हम बोलते हैं, what the liquid, when we cry, the liquid that flows from our eyes, that is tear. So why are his eyes full of tears? Was he crying? So this is one sentence for us. Another is tear, to rend, काटना. Don't tear pages from the book. One is book, the book we read. I like to read books. Another is to reserve, to make reservations. I have to book tickets for the fair, or I have to book tickets for the travel. So this is what bark and bark. One is outer covering of the tree. Another is the sound of the dog. The sound which dog makes. One fair is the complexion, and another is the fun fair kind of thing. One is date, is the dates of the dates on the calendar, and another is a fruit. One left is the side, and another is the past tense of leave. One tear is to rend apart, and another is the liquid which flows from our eyes. One is the book we read, and next is the to reserve tickets and all. So that was homophones, homonyms, and homograms. These are some more examples of homonyms, homophones, and homographs. And next is suffix. Add the suffixes ness, al, lessy, ly, ilv. But first, let's see what suffixes are. Suffix. it has got the word fix in it. So that means fixing something. Now these, what do we fix? Since we are working with words, we are working with language, that means we are fixing something to the words, with the words. So that means affix, to fix something. Group of letters attached before and after the root word. So main is the root word, main word. Like here we have a root word, main word is accept. This accept word, we can add some letters before it, or we can sometimes add some letters after this word, and the meaning of this root word can get changed. So if we add some letters in the beginning of the root word, that means we are using prefixes there. Prefix means before. So before, if we uh, add letters before the word, that means we are using prefixes. And if we add letters at the end, that means we are using suffixes. So for adding before, we have prefixes, and adding after the root word, we have suffixes. Like accept, here we are using un to it. Unacceptable, and able is using as suffix. So letters, when we use them before a word, that means we are adding prefixes to the word, and then if we use it after the word, then that is called suffixes. Here see, the base word is help. The base word is help, or it is called the root word, but we can add prefix to it like un, unhelp, and suffix is full. Unhelpful, when we add letter before a word, that means prefix, adding prefix, and if we add after, then we use it as suffix. So here the exercises in the book are add the suffixes next. Now what do we have to be careful about here? We have to be careful to use correct suffix with the word. We cannot just go about adding any suffix with any word. No, it is just only suitable suffixes can be added, which have got some meaning. Like for example, we have hair, clear, clearness, clearer, clearless. So these cannot be made into words. So what can be the correct word for this? It can be clearly, this ly. So we can make a correct word by using ly after this clear. So it becomes clearly. Victor, what can be? We can, out of these examples, otherwise we can use other suffixes also, but we have been given a choice here. So out of these choices, we have only victory. We just have to add y there. Now next is lazy. It becomes lazily. I-L-Y. I-L-Y. Lazily. First is clearly, just ly there. Victory, only y. Then lazy, lazily. So y, this y will get omitted. We will not have to use this y. Instead of y, we'll use I, and then after ly. Reverse. It can become reversible. I-B-L-E. Port. It can become portal or portable. A-B-L-E. Portal or portable. Mess. Messy. Great. Greatness. Terror. Terror becomes terrible. I-B-L-E. Instead of O-R, it can become I-B-L-E. Comic becomes comical. Just A-L at this. Hour. Hourly. L-Y. Tire. Tireless. And next is bride. Bridal. That is how we have to make changes also. Like here, lazy, y we will not use, instead we'll use I. Then terrible, or, instead of or we can make ible, terrible. So or is not used there. And our, and this bride, it becomes bridal. Instead of this e, we have to use a l there. So this is how we add these suffixes. And remember, always use correct suffixes only to make meaningful words. So next we have listen and tell. Listening exercise again given at some page at the end of the book. So this can be done only in the class, when we have a face to face class, when we meet in the class. So last is be creative. Now this is for you to do. Imagine you're the villager who believed that his visit to Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia changed his life. You write a letter to your friend about the incident. Write the letter in your notebooks. So this is an informal kind of letter. You know the format of the informal letter, so you can write it in your notebooks. And next is find out about any other interesting story related to Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia and narrate it in the class. This also you can do in the notebook. Find out one more story about the Sufi saint and then write a small or short story about him. If you find any, try to find, you'll get lots of stories about him from the internet and all. So find out one short story and write it in your notebooks. Like I have been telling you, we will assess you children taking into consideration all these things. Your notebook work is very important, so try to do these things. I'll give you some time, I'll give you a week to complete your notebook, but do it. So this is very important for your assessment this time. That was all for today. Stay blessed and stay happy and stay safe. Take good care of yourself.